Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike from 1AAuto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And next time you need parts for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks.
In this video, we're going to show you how to replace a set of headlights. I'm going to replace the whole headlight assembly on this 2003 Nissan Maxima. This vehicle has the HID headlights. This is the same for any 2002 to 2003 Maxima with the HID lights. And tools you'll need are pretty basic. You'll need some new HID headlights from 1AAuto.com, then a flat blade screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver, a 10mm socket with a ratchet and a 2-inch extension. You also need a 14mm socket with a ratchet, and that's usually you need a bigger ratchet. The bolts, the 14mm bolts you have to remove are usually pretty tough, and a pair of pliers.
Okay, with the hood open, you'll want to remove 4 clips. And you just use a flat blade screwdriver and press in under the middle and pry up the middle of the clip, and then it comes out. And I'll repeat that for the other 3.
Now just fast forward. On these clips, you only want to pop the center up about 1/8 of an inch. Pop them up too high, and then the clips will be hard to get out. So you pop up the center about 1/8 of an inch, and then you can either pull them out or pry up the rest of the clip with your screwdriver.
Okay, now up underneath on each side there's a Phillips screw that's kind of close to the front wheel, and you want to remove it from each side. Okay, and then in addition to that screw, there's a series of these clips again, and I'll remove those. They're here, and then they continue right across the front.
Okay, so I'll fast forward again, and these clips can even be more challenging on the bottom because a lot of times they get sand and dirt stuck in them, so they're hard to pry out. Using a little bit of penetrating oil on them sometimes helps. Also, if you just have to pry them out and end up breaking them, you can get clips that are a similar style, usually at any hardware store.
And once you get the screw off from underneath here, then what you'll want to do is just reach right in here and grab your inner fender and push it in and pull it down. Okay, and then there is and then there's another either Phillips screw or 10mm bolt right up there. Okay, and then looking further, a little difficult here. Just kind of pull the inner fender out of the way, and then you can see in further, there's another bolt. It's hard to show it to you. There it is.
And I'm going to speed up as I remove that first 10mm bolt. Then I'm going to use a screwdriver and a rag and pry out each of my side marker lights and disconnect them just by pressing a little tab and pulling on the harness. And then again with the 10mm socket and ratchet, and you can access it through that hole where the parking light was. Remove that second bolt. Do that for both sides.
Okay, so I've got both bolts and the lights out on each side. One thing to keep in mind is the fog lights. So I'm going to bring my bumper cover forward. Okay, and as I do that, I'll reach down in. And again, there's a connector for the fog lights. There's a little button on it. We'll plug that one. Okay, next you'll need a larger 14mm socket, and you'll want to remove this bolt here, and then right under here, take a pair of pliers, bend this up, and remove that bolt down there.
Okay, I showed you that in regular motion because you can see that the bolts can get in there stuck, rusted pretty good. The new headlights from One Auto do not include this large security bracket. This bracket was installed basically because these lights are expensive and it's a theft deterrent, makes them very hard to steal. But the 1A Auto ones don't include that bracket. You don't really need them. The cars are past the age where people really want to steal the lights anymore. And I even did break off one of the bolts on the other side, which is not a big deal because, again, you're not going to reinstall that bracket.
Now on the top of the light, there are two 10mm bolts. You can use a 10mm wrench or 10mm socket from Ratchet. Once those bolts are off, grab the light, pull it firmly. Actually, kind of shake it up and down a little bit, pull it firmly out. Pull the top out a little bit and up. Now in behind, there's a tab here to press to disconnect that. Tab here to press to disconnect, and a tab here.
Okay, I use a screwdriver on the one that's connected to the inner headlight. You pry out on the tab a little bit, pull down, and then I use the screwdriver just to put it on the connector and kind of hit the screwdriver with my palm a little bit and force the connector off. And then for the other two, I use the screwdriver, kind of push on the tab as well as insert the screwdriver in between where the connectors connect. So you push on the tab at the same time you twist the screwdriver to force the connectors apart.
Just connect those three, pull the whole light assembly up and out. Okay, new light from 1A Auto. You can see how much brighter and more clear it is. We're going to just peel the plastic off of this corner for right now. Okay, it doesn't have the bracket on it. That's kind of an anti-theft measure from the old ones. And you can see that here there's a clip that you want to make sure slides back into here. On the body of the car, you'll see another little clip here. But bring the light close, reconnect all my connections. Everything plugs right in. Right here. Okay. There's a ball here, goes into a socket back there. So put the light down in. Okay. Down here. Make sure the bottom goes in. And take a look back in. You can see the ball go into the socket in the fender. You might have to put some pressure on it that way. Okay, push that in.
Okay, and once the light's in place, then put the two 10mm bolts on top that secure it, and of course replace the other side. Okay, and we're really going to fast forward through putting the bumper cover back on. Once you take it off, reinstalling it's just to reverse the procedure. Put it in place, connect up your fog lights if you have fog lights, and then pull it up in place and put a couple of the front clips back in place. Actually, you can put all four of the front top clips back in place to hold it. Okay, and continuing to work at a feverish pace. Put both the side bolts back up in and through and make sure that you get the sides secured correctly, as well as put both front side marker lights back on. And once you get everything bolted together, make sure you push the inner fender back in where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be in behind the lip around the bumper cover. Okay, now you can see I actually take the lower plastic panels and push them up onto the top of the lower lip of the bumper cover. And what you don't see off camera, I took all the clips and sprayed a little bit of penetrating oil on them, cleaned them out, and got them to work. You basically just kind of have to work them back and forth until they will push in and clip in easily, and then you secure all those clips. And make sure you put the screws that go on the edge near the wheels on the lower side. Put those back in each side, and you're all set. Now we can peel off the plastic on each side. I peel down the top first, put the hood down, then take the plastic off of each one, and you got yourself a great looking new set of headlights. This car's got over 200,000 miles on it, but those headlights take off about 50,000 miles. Actually, take off about 150,000 miles in the front end. We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.1aauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.